Hey everyone, my name is Rebecca Moultrie, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about managing your time in college. So, time management can certainly seem like one of the biggest pains to deal with, yet we're constantly told that it's necessary to be successful in college. It's also very rare that people who tell you time management is important will give you in-depth information on how to exactly put it into action. So, it's certainly more than just a concept, it's something you have to do. So I'm going to not only talk about why time management is important, but also give you tips on how to implement time management in college using easy steps and modern technology. So we all have perceptions of time management, which can be both negative and positive, and primarily those perceptions seem to be negative. So some people may be naturally organized and managing their time is something which comes easy to them, but that's not always the case. Both spontaneous in nature and organized individuals struggle with effectively managing their time, and it can be absolutely frustrating. But to get those negative perceptions of time management out of the way, we're going to talk about what time management is beneficial for in the broader sense. So, a common misconception of college is that your classes, homework, and assignments should consume your life if you want to be successful. In reality, success in college isn't a result of studying 24/7. There are many elements which affect how you perform in college, and doing well requires you to implement balance. When you only focus on your academics and neglect things like relationships, involvement, or self-care, you're putting yourself on a path towards academic failure. However, if these things are placed above academics on your list of priorities, that can also lead to major problems. So how do you balance academics and other important factors in your life? To no surprise, it starts with time management. When you manage your time, you accomplish more in a shorter period of time, and when you're getting things done quicker, you have more free time, less stress, and even increased focus, which creates the opportunity for spending more time with friends and taking care of yourself. One of the first things you need to start effectively managing your time are SMART goals. If you don't have goals, you aren't able to recognize what you're even doing all of this college work for, and it decreases your motivation and willingness to put in effort. Creating goals isn't difficult, and when you follow the SMART goals guideline, it becomes even easier. I'm not going to go too in depth about SMART goals because this concept is heavily covered in the College of Business, but here's a quick reference to what SMART goals are as a refresher. So the S stands for specific, provide a clear description of what needs to be achieved. The M stands for measurable, include a metric with a target that indicates success. The A stands for achievable, so set a challenging target but keep it realistic. R is relevant, keep your goal consistent with higher level goals. And T is time bound, so set a date for when your goal needs to be achieved. So when it comes to time management in college specifically, it's best to create SMART goals that are both short-term and long-term. Short-term goals are usually within 1 week to a year, and long-term goals are typically within 3 or more years. You can also do medium-term goals, which are 1 to 3 years, so it kind of falls in between the short-term and the long-term goals. These goals will act as building blocks to your progression in college. And without goals, you can often feel like you're in the middle of a vast amount of work and lost in your academic progress. By setting goals and meeting them, you feel a sense of accomplishment, and it helps you recognize progress, acting as both encouragement and motivation. Once you've identified your goals, you need to write them down. Draw pictures, paint them on a canvas. You could even have them painted on a wall tapestry. Really anything that will visually remind you of your goals every single day and why you're in college in the first place. Some other options I could probably recommend are creating a background on your laptop that lists your goals, or a cell phone wallpaper, since you'll be using those devices a lot, and that constant reminder of what you're working for will be there when you need it most. So now we're going to get specifically into using time management for your classes. I'm going to be straightforward with you. Managing your time requires some pre-planning and organization on your part. It takes a little bit of time that you'll need to set aside each week. So I recommend doing this planning on the weekend, specifically on Sunday when you're settling down from weekend festivities and gearing up for the week ahead. And what I mean by planning is that you need to sit down, think about your work schedule, your extracurricular activities, and what assignments or tests are due in each of your classes during the upcoming week. It relieves a lot of stress and makes you feel good when you know exactly what assignments or tests are due and when you can work on them. So once you've sat down and figured out when you're going to do this planning and kind of figured out your process, you're going to want your syllabus. So at the beginning of each semester, you're provided with a syllabus, which includes a list of all assignments you will be completing in a specific class and their due dates. That schedule can, of course, be changed, but it's a fantastic resource that should be utilized. What you'll want to do is locate the syllabus your professors provided for each of your courses and print them out. Staple them together, then place each one in its own folder. If you don't already have a folder for each of your classes, I more than recommend getting some and separating your work, handouts, and notes into them. So now that you have your course schedule, it's time to start using it. Now, we all know very well how much technology has changed over just the past few years. We should be using that to our advantage because there are endless amounts of smartphone and computer applications which make time management easier than we can imagine. If you simply search for time management in the App Store, you end up with tons of options. What I'm primarily going to talk about in the next few slides is centered around using technology. Now, I understand for many people using a paper agenda or calendar is preferred, and that's totally fine. I'm not saying you should change everything about your current organization practices to better manage your time, but I will say it is extremely beneficial for you to use technology on top of your current system if you have one to maximize your organization and increase your resources for time management. So you have your course schedule, which you've located in the syllabus, and now I'm going to show you a smartphone application that will organize every assignment for all of your classes. This is an awesome app called Pocket Schedule Planner. It's a free app and I utilize it myself. If you take a look at the smartphone on the right side of your screen, I'm going to walk you through the app and how it works. So it's this little blue and green icon at the bottom right of my screen. If you open that up, you can see a timetable. I only have class on Tuesday and Thursday, so if we select those days at the top of the screen, you'll see those classes, their times, the location, and the professor. Next, if you click on the Assignments tab at the bottom of the screen, you can see all of your assignments which you have entered using your course schedule. So here's that. You can see it organizes your assignments by their due dates and tells you which class they're for and how many days are left before they're due. You can also view your assignments categorized by which course it's for. Now to add an assignment, you'll click on the little plus button in the top right of your screen. Here you'll add which class the assignment is for, list the title and description of the assignment, set its due date, and set a reminder for up to 7 days before the assignment is due. You can also add tasks, which is located right here. And this is really helpful for project planning, especially in groups, which you can add using the Project tab, which I'll click on here. And then if you click on the little plus button, you can add a project. So that's pretty much an outline of this application. It's a really great app. It's super easy to use. It's always available to you because you always have your smartphone, or most of the time, and the app organizes everything for you. It prioritizes your assignments. It shows you exactly when they're due, and entries are easily updated. So now that you're organized and have all of your upcoming assignments written down, it's time to work on staying focused. When it comes to actually completing upcoming assignments or studying for tests, it can be difficult to use self-control and set aside time to do so. Things come up, distractions appear, or you simply want to do something fun because that assignment isn't due for another few days. You can totally do it later. When you put off assignments and wait until the last minute, you create stress and don't produce the quality of work you're truly capable of. Thankfully, there's a solution to this problem. The best way to ensure you have time to work on assignments for your classes and get things done in a timely manner is to set aside 2 to 3 hours a day, depending on your workload, it could be more, to work on assignments. Don't base the time you set aside each day on how long it's taken you in the past to complete assignments, because I'm going to give you tools that help you get things done quicker when used properly. However, figuring out exactly how much time you need per day is going to take a little experimenting on your part and certainly some adjustments to figure out exactly what works for you, so keep that in mind. Once you determine the amount of time you're going to use each day, you need to choose a space where you'll go to complete those assignments. This space could be the library, a study room in one of the academic buildings, or residence halls, or even a place like Starbucks. If you work best in your own house or apartment, that's fine too, but try to find a space that doesn't create tons of distractions for you and somewhere that motivates you to get work done. You might have to experiment with different places to figure out the space you like best. Next, it's important to keep social media and other things like Netflix off of your computer screen. You may think you work better with background noise, but in reality, Netflix or music with lyrics occupies part of your brain and ultimately distracts you even if it's the slightest bit. If you like having background noise, put on some headphones and listen to music without lyrics. This doesn't have to be classical music, it can be your favorite songs without the lyrics, or your favorite movie scores. I've found that movie scores hype me up while I'm doing my work, and my brain moves much quicker as a result. Lastly, stay off your phone. Although extremely difficult, there are applications to help you with this, such as ones which lock you out of social media until you've remained focused for a 25-minute period, or longer. Checking text messages isn't a huge deal, but keep Twitter and Instagram closed so you don't endlessly scroll through your newsfeed and waste a ton of time. So what I'm going to show you now is an app which motivates you to stay focused, helps you keep track of your studying goals, gives you a sense of accomplishment, and keeps you from overdoing it. The app is called Flora, and it's free on your smartphone's app store. I'm going to take you through how the app works and just show you around a little bit. So it's this little app on the bottom right that has a little plant on its icon. If you open that up, you see at the top of the screen that it's set for me to do work in my own room. You can choose different durations of time to focus, from 25 minutes to an hour and 50 minutes, which is pretty cool. There's also an option to choose an actual dollar amount, which will be used to plant a real tree while staying focused, which is pretty cool. You can click on the Plant a Tree With button and choose your friends who also use the app to create a focus group, which is perfect for group project meetings. You're also given a code in this tab to share with friends so they can join you. If you click on the little hamburger button in the top left corner, it reveals a menu where you can click on your picture and view your profile. Your profile shows you the total amount of time you've focused using the app, how many real trees you've planted, and even shows you a feed of your friends and their progress. So if we go back to the main screen, I'm going to plant a tree for 25 minutes of focus. You can choose to take a break if needed, then resume when you're ready. If you stop the timer, you kill the tree, and it shows up on your feed for everyone to see. So that's kind of sad, but it's a great motivator. So the reason for the 25-minute intervals is that this is the maximum amount of time productivity is available before your mind will start wandering. Your brain will work at its full potential for much longer if you work in intervals with periodic breaks. If you don't take breaks, your brain can end up in shambles as you'll become restless, bored, or overall uncomfortable from sitting in one place staring at a screen. So with a timer set for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break once the 25 minutes is up to respond to text messages, eat a snack, use the bathroom, hang out, anything that you find to be relaxing that will help your mind recharge. When the 5 minutes is up, start another 25-minute timer and then take another 5-minute break. Continue this cycle until you've reached your goal of how much time to spend working. Now, the above tips were focused mainly on completing assignments and not really directed towards studying. Studying is a completely different concept, as it's something you should be doing over the course of the entire semester with extra review as a test or quiz gets closer. You can increase the amount of time you plan to spend completing assignments each week with an extra 30 minutes to an hour of review, which consists of going back over your notes and creating study tools for later. When you spend some time each day, starting at the beginning of the semester, reviewing your notes and creating things like study guides and flashcards, it saves you so much time and prepares you for studying closer to an exam or test. I mean, how cool is it that when it's time to study for a test, you'll already have all of the tools to study effectively? There's one more tool I want to bring up that is a huge component to maximizing your productivity, and it revolves around taking good notes in your classes. Without good, well-organized notes, Completing assignments or studying for tests is going to be difficult. Evernote is an amazing tool to use when it comes to ensuring you have great notes from your classes for studying to maximize productivity. Evernote is available for free both on your phone and your laptop, and you can keep all of your notes in one place, access them from anywhere on any device just by logging into your Evernote account. You can organize everything into different notebooks based on subject, class, topic, etc. And you can add attachments and voice recordings and other resources such as pictures into your documents on each page. You can also highlight important terms and topics using a highlighting tool and draw all over the page if you really want to. And let's be honest, typing up notes in class is much quicker and better organized than writing them down by hand, and having this type of organization at your fingertips makes studying so much easier. Hand notes are great and all, but when you have a dozen different notebooks and you have to flip through the pages, it gets kind of messy. Here, you can literally search a term and it shows up on your screen, so you can study that page, that term, that topic, anything at the touch of a button. Studying doesn't feel like a hassle when it's this organized and quick. So here's a quick screenshot of what Evernote looks like on your smartphone. You can see here in the second picture the option to add handwriting, audio, a reminder, an attachment, take a picture, or add text. In the third picture, it shows the option to view all of your notes or specific notebooks. There's also a paid version of Evernote, but it's not necessary to experience all that this app has to offer. Definitely go check it out and enjoy the organization of your class content in one place. Overall, time management is like fitting together pieces of a puzzle. The puzzle consists of planning your week, organizing your work, utilizing tools like agendas or smartphone applications, and performing, which means actually putting time management into action. These tips and tools help you organize and prioritize your school life. When you use them and do so correctly, you're opening up so much more time for things like hanging out with friends, working a job, and taking care of yourself. You don't have to spend all of your time focusing on school to be successful, and you don't have to plan out every waking moment of your day to get things done. By planning out your week regarding classes and assignments, by using the syllabus and a scheduling app, taking great notes using a program like Evernote, and setting aside a specific amount of time each day to complete work, and focusing by using apps like Flora, you're setting yourself up for success and a great college experience. There are many more tools out there that help you get organized and stay focused, so you can try out the ones that I've recommended or go on the hunt for others that suit you better. The choice is up to you.